Mm. Good morning, folks. Dr. Freedom here with you. Now, this is the part where I guess whether the good morning got cut off the live stream or not. How's everybody doing? Oh, just above freezing out here. It's 34 degrees Fahrenheit in the parking lot. Conditions are dry and cold, and it's Tuesday, which kind of sucks, but not as bad as Monday. Um, yeah, sadly, Linda Barron passed away yesterday. Now, a lot of people are probably asking, okay, who the heck is that? Now, as far as Doctor Who goes, she'd been in many other things, but um, I think her most memorable role in Doctor Who was all the way back in the Fifth Doctor era in Enlightenment, where she played the pirate captain, Captain Rack. Now, in modern era Who, she made an appearance in Closing Time with Matt Smith. She was the lady at the counter who was feeding them a bunch of gossip. Now, infamously, she's known for all the way back in the Hartnell era, because if I remember correctly, she's the one who provided who sang the song "The Last Chance Saloon." So she didn't actually appear on screen in the Gunfighters, but that was her singing the ballad of the Last Chance Saloon. You know, if you remember that. And oh my God, that was one of the, oh boy. That was an interesting bit there where the Doctor somehow wound up. I think it was in Tombstone and all that. It's been a while since I've seen that one. I don't know if she was actually in the episode, Mark, but I believe she sang the song. So I don't know if she actually appeared. I'll have to double check that later. But yeah, so sadly she's passed away. Like I said, I loved her as Captain Rack in Enlightenment. Sinister, wicked, and just, rotten to the core type character. And she did a really good job, with that character. Meanwhile, yeah, RTD is playing with everybody on social media again, and it's funny watching this because every time the guy so much as farts up an Instagram, everybody's like, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this. Like, that man's playing with y'all. He's good at that. It's his, he's going to keep you off balance until he's ready to drop something on you. He's kind of like that, thing in the cartoon where he leads you to the big X where the piano is going to fall. Okay, I wasn't sure because, like I said, I haven't seen the Gunfighters in a long time, and I think sadly, I think, oh gosh, the Ballad of the Last Chance Saloon. Oh god, that was stuck in my head. I think after the first time I saw Gunfighters. Matter of fact, in the Dr. Freedom and Eric audios, in the second one, Death Moon, I named the tavern that's at the beginning, or the little tavern at the beginning. I named it the Last Chance Saloon because that song was still stuck in my head. Ugh. So not much going on out here. It's Tuesday. We're still waiting for news. Sadly, we're finding out more and more about this nasty business in the Ukraine. Apparently, a Russian POW was seen on video saying they were told in the media that a fascist regime had taken over Ukraine. Also, here's the other interesting bit. A lot of the troops who didn't get that info, or get that little bit, were being told when they were originally massing for the invasion that it was a training exercise. So all these guys went there and dutifully reported, and then all of a sudden it went from being, they were being told it was a training exercise. And then all of a sudden, nope, go invade the next country. And it's like, okay, so between that, this, and all this, misinformation once again, or disinformation has once again, led to this nonsense. And it's like, oh. Now, of course, Putin's threatening the oil and everybody's shaking in their boots. It's like, Oh, man, does he realize the can of worms he's opening? You don't threaten the oil. Of course, people are like, oh my God, Dr. Freedom, you're talking about political issues. We don't want political issues on our show. Oh, goodness gracious. That was one of the things I couldn't stand more than anything, was these guys pushing this thought into their head that somehow the Chibnall Whitaker era was pushing more religious, or sorry, not religious, I mean political agendas on the people than, any other era before that. I just want my Doctor Who to be silly and blah blah. It never was. Oh boy. Sorry, I don't have a whole lot to rant on about today. It's been kind of a slow day so far. Like I said, I don't really have much going on news-wise other than Ukraine. Like I said, RTD, like I said, it's got everybody believing this story that production. Dude, they've been in pre-production since probably not even 5 minutes after Chibnall and them left back in October. And so you can't sit there and tell me they just began production yesterday or the day before. I'm like, or we haven't hired a doctor yet. It's like, dude, this is RTD and Julie Gardner. Even if they hadn't officially hired someone, they've got someone waiting in the wings. Like I said, you had Tania Miller months ago going on doing those little cameo calls, telling people the next doctor had already been hired and that they will be fierce. Using that particular pronoun so that way we don't know whether the next person coming in is male or female or whatnot. So it's like, speculations to right now. Apparently some folks are saying Chris Marshall's ahead in the polls. Don't believe that. It's going to be that way for a little while. Like I said, once we start getting closer towards, a possible announcement date, that's all going to shift. Like I said, it did the same thing with Capaldi and Whitaker. Whitaker, like I said, I didn't even contemplate Whitaker because her name, doesn't reach outside. All right, hey, I'll have to see that when it pops back up again. Sorry, they never keep these things up long enough for you actually do. When you're doing this on a live stream, it comes up like that big on the screen, and then it's usually gone pretty quick. I don't know. I'll have to read that later. I'm sorry. But I like doing these on the phone because it's quick, it's easy, it's convenient, and plus, I have a few minutes to sit here and talk with you all before I go in and start. Okay. Well, the thing is, definition over the modern culture war over gender, sexual. I got some bad news. That's an issue that's taking place today. Of course, they're going to address it. As much as when, classic Trek back in the day had these clever episodes that addressed racism, which back then was still running rampant. And they found clever ways to address it in that format. So that's as old as Waycott. That's, any good sci-fi is going to involve today's politics or today's thing is mixed into the storyline. You can't have one without the other. Now, there's good stories that don't do that. I'm not saying it's not 100%. Filming begins. Okay, so that makes sense because originally they were saying May. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because originally they were saying May, then they were saying April, so they must have bumped it up a week, so now it's the last week of April. So that makes perfect sense. But at the same time, all right, who said that? Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Like I said, I think they've been in production for a while, but like I said, the actual filming, will take place. And which means sooner or later, if they're going to do location filming, they're going to have to come out and give an announcement. Otherwise, somebody out there with one of their private Instagram accounts is going to blow it. Or, the secret. Or somebody out there, is going to get a hold of the information and have it out for they can get their spin on it. And they don't want that to happen. So filming's actually coming up April 29th. We got a few weeks yet, but it's got to happen probably sometime within the next month or so then. Because they're going to want to get control of it, get on top of it, and all that. Now, as you've seen, Dave Tennant, he's going to be way too busy between his con schedule, because he's on the con circuit. He's going to be bouncing back and forth between here and there. Plus, him and Georgia Tennant are doing that production together. They're going to call it Hyde. It's like, folks, how many times are we going to use the Hyde name for a Jekyll and Hyde production? We had Jekyll, we had Hyde, we had this, we had that. So they're going to be busy as hell. They're not going to have time to do a major, he's not going to have time to do any Doctor Who specials. Oh, well, folks, at least not until, probably a one-off appearance. I'm saying he's not going to do a series, is what I mean. Well, folks, I got to get going. It's about that time, so please take care of yourselves and each other. Watch out for one another. Be safe, be kind, and hopefully we'll all see you in the future. And I'm going to get on out of here because I got to get in the door. So have a good one, everyone.